Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. If you're new here, my name is Miranda,
And I'm Carmelita.
and this is where we're going to get raw and relatable.
Let's dig in. Today we are talking about how to prioritize yourself and how to get motivated. And this is episode 7, guys, so we're super excited.
Yeah, we're so excited for all the support and love that you guys have shown us for this episode request. We have a couple more episode requests that we're excited to get into, but we hope that you guys learned something and it is just rambling.
And this is where, you guys need to be tuning in. So, this is where you guys need to be chiming in. So, if there is something that you guys are like, you want us to discuss, you want us to talk about something that's relatable to you, for sure, like get in our inbox, follow us on Instagram, make sure that you guys speak up, and we're going to make sure we deliver it to you guys. Yeah. So, before we dive into our episode, one thing we are going to start is taking prayer requests. So we're going to put that out there.
We're super excited to offer that. We've been offered that in our women's Bible study group, and it's been very helpful for us, and we do utilize it. And we actually had somebody reach out and ask for a prayer, which gave us the idea we should definitely offer that for everyone. So if you do have a prayer request, go ahead and send it to us on our Instagram. It's raw and relatable. And we'll get back to you.
And for sure, all of that's going to be confidential. So don't, we're here to build a community and build a support system. So we want to make sure that you guys are utilizing us just as much as, we're utilizing each other.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we dive in, we're going to play our Healing Edition game.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into our healing game, the and. So mine says, what do you think you'd be doing right now if we had never met?
What would I be doing? Oh, I honestly don't know. Obviously not this podcast. Wouldn't be doing that.
For sure.
I think my whole life, honestly, would be 100% differently. Because it's those people the good people we have around us. For me, that's you, showing me the new path or the inspiration of where I want to go. You are kind of a guiding light of what I want. So for sure, I would probably, I don't know, not here.
It would be completely different.
Yeah, in every area of my life. Yeah. So I'm glad I don't have to worry about that.
Well, I'm glad you have me to look up to.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I'm your guiding light.
So my goodness. All right. In what ways do you think we perceive life similarly? Whatever.
Similarity. Okay. I feel like everything, really, but I feel like the main thing, and right now, our main focus is really putting in the work of getting closer to God. Mm-hmm. Really following into that path. This is the closest that the most obedient we have been to Him, so that for sure. And then using our voices to, make this podcast.
Yeah.
That's super inspiring to us, and we know other people as well. And it gives us both the driving motivation that we need, you know.
And then sharing that together makes it better. So
I do feel like we were both in a season where we felt kind of stuck, and we didn't know what our purpose was and what we wanted to do, and we were questioning a lot, really what are our hobbies? What are we into? What is our purpose?
Can't be life. Just waking up and going to work.
And now it's we have something more than just our families, being a mom, going to our 9-to-5 jobs. We have something more that we're doing for ourselves and for others, and that's super exciting.
And it's a hard journey. It's a lot of work. Even this podcast, to be very transparent with you guys, it's very time consuming. It does take away from
it's another job.
Yeah, and it's a lot of energy. Before we can even dive into the episodes, there's a lot of work that we have to, because we're new at this. It's trial and error.
We're our own cameraman right now.
Our own camera crew. We're trying to set the right scenery for you guys. We're trying to make sure that the message is able to really get across to you guys. And so it takes work. But yeah, we know that that's something we need to do. So today we want to talk about getting motivated. and how to prioritize yourself. And
I think this is a really good episode too, right now, because we're gonna be able to give you guys both sides of feedback. Like, I'm more motivated in this season, and she's not right now.
Right.
So we're gonna be able to give you guys a little bit of how it feels like to be motivated, and like how you kind of fell off, and like what it looks like to not be as motivated.
Yeah, and I think understanding that that's the game of life, and it's okay. We're not gonna be 100% go mode, 100% motivated, 100%.
And we can't be like
that because we would burn ourselves out. We need time we need our downtime, but also not getting stuck in that. And that's something I really struggle with. I go to the gym. I enjoy the gym. I know in my mind that every morning when I go to the gym, I'm going to have a great day. Like, I know that that's setting myself up for like good energy, good, my fitness, good health, all those things. But when I'm down and out or I'm in a rut, that's not anything that I'm worried about. I wake up and I'm like, I know I need to go to the gym. She tells me like, are you going to the gym today? And I roll my eyes and I'm like, no, like, because I'm letting
You're probably like, gosh, just leave me alone. Stop holding me accountable.
Sometimes I am like, girl, worry about yourself. Worry about your gym. But no, I need that. But it's so easy to fall into that darkness.
Yeah, like literally just spiraling.
And then the more that's why they say, like, for the gym, they say, like, don't miss more than, 2 days? Yeah. Because then it becomes, like, it's easier to say no. It's easier to just, so yeah, we're going to get into that. But I think that we first want to discuss you having a reason to be motivated. Like,
what is your driving force?
Yeah, and that's, motivation is the driving force behind what you want. And what is it? What is your driving force?
Is it for you? Is it for, like, do you have a goal in mind that's coming up? Maybe if you're getting recruited into the military, it could be anything. And, getting motivated doesn't even necessarily mean the gym. Like, getting motivated could be, like, cleaning your house.
Making your kids breakfast every day.
Yeah, like, the simple, like, day-to-day things.
I even, like, for me, I tell her all the time, like, I'm going to cook dinner more for my family. Like, those are things that I lack motivation in. Like, those are things, it is the gym, that's one aspect, but it's also everything that you want to do for yourself that you're not doing.
Yeah, so with that being said, like, I've pretty much been motivated since I've moved to Texas, and I think a huge part of that is because, like, I didn't really have a hobby or anything to really do, and I had free time. So after my kids go to school, I still had about an hour and a half of a free time that I didn't have nothing to do. So I was like, well, I'm going to start going to the gym. I knew I wanted to, like, get in shape, change my body. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I started going. And then when you start seeing those changes, it keeps you, like, motivated. Like,
that's like your driving force.
Mm-hmm. So, and then I know what my goal is for, like, my body and, like, how I want it to look and what I want to build. So I know, like, I keep going every single day because I'm not there yet.
You're chasing something.
Yeah, like, I know, like, I have this image in my mind of what I want. And not only about, like, how I look, but honestly, more than anything, about, like, how I feel. Mm-hmm. Like, it makes me feel, like, so good. Like, it makes me feel motivated. It makes me feel accomplished. Like, I got up, I went to the gym, I started my day off right, and so
really spend that time with yourself and figure out, like, what is your driving force? What are the things that you're trying to accomplish, and what's your motivation behind it? Mm-hmm. For some examples, like, most of us have children, so the driving force behind me going to work every day is the house. I have to provide for my family. Like, I have a household to take care of. I have kids to raise. I have, this lifestyle that I'm trying to maintain and uphold and grow towards. Mm-hmm. So that consists of me continuously finding work that, is gonna create that. So that's my driving force in that area of life. And then like for her, she said waking up every day and going to the gym, her driving force is like she has an idea of what her body is going to look like, what she wants it to look like, and she's going after that. Some other motivation driving force things, like meal prepping. You know, you want to eat healthy. You're planning you're setting yourself up for success. So really, just figuring out like the bottom line is what is your why.
So yeah, so now you have your driving force and your why. Like,
Now,
what
how do
is
you
your
put it
goal?
into action?
Now, what are the steps that you know you need to take? So for me, I know I need to hold myself accountable. I need to make sure I go to the gym and stay consistent with that. I go 5 to 6 days a week. I know I need to maintain a healthy diet. If I'm going to the gym but I'm just eating like crap all week long, it's pointless. You know, like what I'm not going to see changes. I'm never going to reach that goal. And if you are just starting, I suggest like start small. Start with 3 days a week. Start cutting out like all the sugary foods. Don't just take away every single thing that you like immediately. Mm-hmm. Start swapping out for healthier options, and then that way.
That's an easy way to get defeated.
Yeah, you want to set yourself up for success, you know, and you don't want to like overwhelm yourself with everything, because when you do start, like, it is a lot to take in, and then like especially when you get into like taking supplements and taking your protein powders, and it's just like all of your vitamins, it's just everything.
And when you do it at a small, like, in a small way, then you're building momentum. So every day you're adding something more, you're able to add more, and you're getting encouraged along your journey. Versus, I said I was gonna go 5 days this week. I went once. I'm quitting. I'm done. Or you know, even for me, honestly, I try to eat healthy, or I'll say I'm gonna start a diet or a clean eating lifestyle, and then I'll eat like a piece of cake or an ice cream, and then that whole day I will throw away. I'll say like, now I can eat whatever I want. Now,
oh, no, yeah, it's the worst,
and that's horrible to have that mindset.
Because what is like 100 to 200 calories that you ate, versus you now filling your body up with 1,000 of garbage calories.
Or they say like, if you have one flat tire, are you gonna go and stab them all? Now I have 4 flat tires. Like, what's the thought process behind that? But it's just you giving up on yourself and feeling like you already messed up. I'm gonna just continue down that road. So we have to stay motivated. But even when you have your driving force and you do have your why, sometimes I think that it's a little deeper than like just getting started. I think it's believing that you deserve it.
Oh, for sure.
And that you're able, so that way you are able to prioritize your wants, and you're able to prioritize yourself to get those things done and get motivated. But if we don't feel like it's easier to make excuses for ourselves. So if we don't feel like we deserve it, we're gonna make excuses of why we can't do it. So if I feel like I don't spend enough time with my kids, then I'm not gonna carve out an hour to go to the gym, because I'm already feeling guilt about that I don't have time. So now I can't create more time. And that's just like an example of.
But that's a perfect example of like what we're getting into. So
like why we don't feel like we
can prioritize
motivate. Like you can even be motivated and know what you have to do, but if you don't believe it, you're not going to carve out that space for yourself. And we're going to get into that, because you have to time block, you have to plan for success, you have to set up your days and outline, you know, that's how successful people work. That's how life works.
And that's how they are successful.
But so you're not gonna time block yourself into a day if you don't believe that that's something that you truly deserve for yourself.
So for like time blocking, like, because for me, I know my free time is between 7 and 9:30, so that's when I scheduled in to go to the gym. But it may not be in the morning for you. If you know that you have uninterrupted time between 1 and 3 o'clock, you should be scheduling in whatever you need to do during that time. If your kids are at school, if you have daycare or they're in daycare or whatever it is, at least you have that time blocked, and you know you already have this planned. And now you could hold yourself accountable to seeing that you put this on your calendar and follow through, you know. And then back And then like with time blocking, it's so helpful. And I've actually learned that from you because you're really big on time blocking.
Yeah. There's apps that you know you can download. There's you can have pen and paper, obviously. But what time blocking is a format of how you're spending your day. So my time blocking starts at 5 a.m. and ends at 9 p.m. Well, 10 p.m. But I put in at 5 a.m. Okay, wake up. Ideally, I'd like to go to the gym when I am motivated and I'm able to do that task. But then I know I work 8 to 4, and then I want to do dinner at 5 to 6, and then I have a lot of church events, a lot going on during the week. So then I put that in there. That way, I'm not really ever guessing what my day looks like. I'm not guessing, do I have time? If she says, hey, do you want to go to lunch on Wednesday? Well, let me look up Wednesday. I can go at 4 to 6, but other than that, I'm pretty packed that day. I even like time block my rest, making sure that we're
prioritize.
Yeah,
especially if we have a really busy schedule, we have to prioritize rest because that's going to help us reset and like keep going.
And time blocking is how you're going to stay accountable for yourself because actually you'd be surprised when you go back and look at what you were supposed to do. And you're like, what did you do instead of that?
Yeah.
And you're almost embarrassed of yourself. Like,
yeah, it's for sure like, dang, I did that instead of.
Or you just see how much time that you're just bullshitting, like how much time you're scrolling on TikTok, what you could have put in that space. So really planning for success, setting yourself, holding yourself accountable. Don't let yourself off the hook.
Yeah. And habit stacking, that's like, perfect for habit stacking. Like if you want to scroll on your phone, like for instance, you could go to the gym, do your cardio, and scroll on TikTok. Use that as your time on your phone and get that time out. That's called habit stacking.
Instead of sitting there
and doing nothing, you're putting like what you have to do with what you want to do.
Yeah. And we talked about it in previous episodes. Like we do cardio, we listen to audiobooks. Mm-hmm. We're driving, we listen to podcasts. So that's habit stacking, making sure that you're like multitasking in a sense.
It is, yeah, it's definitely like multitasking. It's like you already know you have to go to the gym, so let me put on, I'm driving to the gym, let me go ahead and put on even an audiobook that you haven't finished, a podcast, that way you are still completing those goals that you have for yourself while completing your next goal as well. It's fulfilling, when you're just knocking down all of those plans that you had in store for your day.
Yeah. And then we wanted to talk about how people don't feel like they can give their self time, how you don't prioritize yourself because you feel selfish, or that's time you could be spending with your kids, or that's time that you can be helping, a friend that's in need, or there's so many things that we can guilt ourselves into believing that other people need us and we're demanded in different areas of life.
Yeah.
So we continue to put ourselves on the back burner because I think that in our mind we feel like we always have time. Like, okay, I can fix that later for me, but they need me now.
Especially for us. Like, we feel like we're superwoman. Like, we can handle it all. And I feel like recently
we started getting real with each other.
And being able to be, like, delegating tasks to, like, our husband that they wouldn't have been able to, or wouldn't have done before, or letting them know that we need help with this instead of just expecting them to know. Or, it's just really...
You have to learn to lighten your own load and use your resources, and closed mouths don't get fed. That's something in my season that I'm really, really like. My husband is amazing, but it wasn't until I started asking for what I wanted when I started getting what I wanted.
And it wasn't until you started like your therapy and learning about like what you need.
Yeah.
Like you never put yourself first to even know what Carmelita needs or what, so you didn't know where to go.
Focused on what everybody else needed, focused on what everyone else wanted from me, because I didn't feel like I could prioritize myself. Yeah. I felt like so many people needed from me.
And now that you
and it was selfish.
Now that you prioritize yourself, how do you feel?
Amazing. Like, I do have my downtime, which I can get real with you guys, and there is, like, this year, just like with my whole journey, this year has been, like, very challenging for me. January was, like, I was in the gym, I was motivated, I was really, like, new year, new me.
Yeah.
And then February, I started my therapy, and it really took me on a toll of mentally. Yeah, I really just kind of got in a dark space. I felt like the enemy like really just had control over my mind at that time. I didn't go to the gym at all in February. And then March, I was like, okay, let me start picking it up again. But I'm already. Sometimes I just give my. I don't know really how to say it, but sometimes I just let myself off the hook. Like I just feel sorry for myself. I feel like, oh, I can't do it. I don't believe in myself. It's too hard. I don't want to get out of bed and do the work. But once I get there and do it, once I wake up and I, put myself in these situations to drag me out of bed, those are when I am starting to turn around. That's when the momentum starts to build for like me to enjoy joy, like happiness again.
Yeah.
I'm not always motivated. Some days I will wake up and go be 2 hours at the gym and like I'm having a great day, and then some days I'm like I let my mind really take over. So when we're going through when we're trying to figure out what we want and we're trying to prioritize ourselves, we really have to give ourselves grace. Don't beat yourself up over it, but don't let yourself off the hook either. Like hold yourself accountable. That's why you need to know your why. Because actually, like since February, I gained 10 pounds. So that's my why right there now. I was like, I need to get back because I allowed like the detour in my mind to affect me so bad that like, all the things that I was working on have kind of been like pushed back now. So I need to get back into prioritizing myself. I need to get back into motivating myself, and just revisiting what did I want it for in the beginning. Yeah. For sure. And then like asking people for stuff is very, very new for me because I don't like to look like I need anybody or that I need
or feeling like I could do it better, so I'm just gonna complete it myself.
Oh yeah, I'm big on we both, I think.
Yeah. I used to be like, don't even do it. But yeah, like I have learned like it's okay because I'd rather be at least like 80% of the way done instead of not at all, and then I could, if there's something that needs to be adjusted or fixed, like I'm able to go and correct.
And you have to learn what in life can you let go of so you can gain more of. And we have to let go of the control. We have to let go of all the duties and feeling responsible for everybody else, and we have to gain being responsible for ourselves. Gain, working on what we want.
I was on TikTok and some girl was saying that she's not gonna she's not a mom yet, but when she becomes a mom, she's not gonna give up her habits and her routines. Like that will always come before her baby, and or in not every single circumstance, but. And then a lot of people were bashing her, like, yeah, you're not a mom, like, you don't understand. And I commented, and I was just like, you will definitely be able to do that.
Yeah.
And ever since I prioritized myself and made time for, like, the gym and, like, getting healthy and, like, clearing my mind, I have been a way better mom. I have been a way better wife.
Yeah.
Like, it has done nothing but good, like, I know I'm a way different mom and wife than what I was before, and it's because I'm prioritizing myself.
You're making yourself happy so that negative energy of like, what about me?
And when you're able to make yourself happy, you look for that less in other people. You're not expecting other people to sit there and make you happy and look for happiness through them. No, you can provide that for yourself, and you're all you need.
I just learned that. Yeah. Literally, like this year probably. I would tell my coach all the time, like, they don't want to go to the movies. My kids don't want to hang out with me. My husband doesn't want to, do these things with me. And she would be like, well, why don't you do it by yourself? Why don't you go?
Yeah.
Like, what is holding you back from doing what you want? And it was like, I only was happy if they were able to, like, do it with me, or if they were able to, like, if I was able to make them happy. So yeah, like make yourself happy, then you're gonna be able to like pour that into other people. And another thing I wanted to mention while you were talking about that is like we go to the gym now and we've created a healthy lifestyle, and we can say that it might feel selfish or look selfish or oh they're prioritizing themselves, but our kids fall in line with
yes,
that. Our kids want to go to the gym with us.
Yeah.
Our kids are
We're
making
showing great
smoothies.
examples for them and how they're going to want to grow up and know that they need to prioritize their health first, you know? So for sure, setting that example for your kids should be a goal, you know, one of your main focuses as well, because exactly, like,
and not feeling bad about it. Yeah, because I tell my kids now I'm more comfortable with saying, and they're older too, so we obviously have to be cautious of like the kids' age. But our kids are in an age where I'm like, no, we're hanging out. This is for us. Like, this is our moment of happiness. Like, yes, we pour into you guys. Yes, you deserve that. But it's not always all about you. It's about everybody. So yeah, setting those examples, and the kids fall in line with it. So it makes us know that what we're doing is right. Now everyone enjoys church. Now everyone enjoys praying at the dinner table. Now, you know, these little things that we're keeping ourselves accountable for are pouring into our entire household.
And that's to speak on that, like, we have never prayed at the dinner table aloud with each other, you know, and this year I have, like what I've said in previous episodes, yes, I have always believed in God. I have went to church on and off, but I have never felt as close as I do now than I ever have before. So I think, like, doing, you know, like praying together as a family, like my kids are like following in line with that as well.
Yeah.
You know, and excited to go to church on Sundays. Yeah. Like, that's exciting that they're like excited to go. And then my kids knowing like verse from verse on like our gospel songs, like that's freaking awesome. Like, I love when they're singing along. Like, it just makes you feel so good. And I feel like church is really big in the South, so I feel like it's easier. But when you see like these older kids, it makes you like just feel so thankful because they are in the church, and we were around like high school boys at a church event, and it was just so cool to like see them and how they incorporate God into their life and how respectful young men they are, you know.
And it really, I think, for us, inspired us to continue to keep our children in that environment, church, in that community, so our kids can resemble those kids. And what we saw, like, it was like God speaking, like God was in them. He had a tattoo, maybe a kid shouldn't have a tattoo, but it said faith.
And it had a cross, like it
wasn't like just, you know, and the way he said it, well, he was like, of course, in like faith, because that's what I'm all about. And I was like, okay, like, that's what we want. And I think that that's something that where you guys can get motivation from, because that gives us motivation to keep our family in that community. So take a look around you, take mental notes of what do you want your life to look like? What do you want your family dynamic, your foundations, your roots to look like? Because it starts with you, and you have to set that example. So if you're not prioritizing yourself, if you're not caring about your health, if you're not making sure that you make you happy, well, how do you expect the world around you to?
And I never seen anybody like growing up like into health and fitness and like into the gym. Like, I was not raised around that. So I think, you know, in order for us to break what we had as kids, like, we need to set the example now. And it's only going to benefit them. I feel like with all the knowledge and everything that is in this world now, we could set our kids up with so much success. Sure. You know, and teaching them that motivation is important as well.
Yeah.
So I think to recap a little bit, like how to get motivated, I think is number one, your driving force.
Understanding, you know, what you're working towards.
What is it that you want? Yeah. And then I would say creating a routine and time blocking. So that way, you know, like if it is like how to get motivated to like go to the gym for you, then you could start time blocking your schedule like every single day. Like, what is this? And then that way, you know, what you have to do is already in there, and then you could see like your little time slots that are available, and you could block in like
put
gym
little
time or
stuff
whatever
in there.
time. If it's like journaling, like you feel like you don't have enough time to journal, you could freaking put that in
That's
there.
in my time blocking. Reading.
Yeah, like
I have everything in mind, honestly. Maybe on Instagram I can post like a
screenshot
example.
or something. Yeah.
There's 30-minute increments, 15-minute increments, so it's as detailed as you want to be. But I would say also a part of this journey is just like giving yourself grace and setting yourself up for success, but also being, if you know that there's a day that you have a lot of downtime, those are the days that you want to try the stuff to where you allow yourself to like get comfortable with it. So you're not just trying to go to the gym after a busy day of work or trying to journal when your head is clouded with so much. You might want to wake up in the morning and sit there and kind of like pour out
you gotta see what is your best time because everybody's day is different.
And try different things. Like just trying different
feel like
ways.
that doesn't work for you, try a different time, you know, like for sure.
And honestly, another thing, that's why I struggle with the gym in the morning because I'm really big on journaling in the morning. So sometimes
your thoughts just
I'm like, I don't care about my body, I care about my mental. So I will spend more time in my office. But that's me needing to learn how to prioritize so I can do both. And I haven't got there yet.
Yeah. I feel like you're way more, you're way better at time blocking than I am. Because I am kind of more of like a go with the flow.
Yeah.
Well, I am go with the flow, but also it's just because my day really consists of pretty much the same thing every single day.
Same.
Yeah, my day is very routine, like day to day. So I kind of already know like everything that has to happen.
Yeah.
But I definitely know, like I want to make time for additional reading. Now we have Bible study, like. So I have to make additional time for that, you know, and then like when your kids have school projects, like I have that this week. There's just different things. And that's why it is important to time because I know like, oh, I have to do this on Monday, oh, I have to do this on Tuesday. But then since I don't really have it time blocked, I don't really know what my free time is. And then I'm waiting until like the end of the night where I feel that is all of my free time, which it really
like
only
the
is.
end of the week and cramming everything
to get it done by a due
because
date.
you didn't plan out your whole week. Like I'll start on like Sunday or Monday, get my whole week planned out. And if you're not doing that, now it's Sunday and you're trying to get last week into this week, and it becomes a big thing. But you guys, it's not easy. Trust me. Like I don't think it's easy for anybody, but I think if you want it bad enough, you can.
And it's about being
attainable
consistent.
And it's reachable.
So I think that would be like basically number 3 is staying consistent. Just keep that routine going because it will end up creating into a habit.
It'll form eventually.
So just being consistent, keep going, keep showing up for yourself, know that you matter, know that you could get it done, and you're doing it for a good reason. Yeah. And you're benefiting yourself, your kids, and everybody around you. I promise you that.
Even if you're not a mom, you're setting your future self up. So when you are a mom and you do have more challenges in life and you do have more demands, you're already accustomed to this lifestyle. So now you're a step ahead versus figuring out motherhood, figuring out how to be a woman, figuring out how to juggle a career, and it's a lot. So just start where you're at, start what works for you, and give yourself grace. That's the message for sure. Is giving yourself grace along the journey because it can be difficult, but we're here to support you guys. We're here if you guys have any conversations that you need to have. If you guys want to reach out, we are always available. And
prayer requests.
Yes, and we just love the interaction. So do not be afraid or hesitant in any way.
Yeah. So I think that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you learned something from this episode. Go ahead and give us a rating and review down below to help us grow. We love you and appreciate you.
Have a good day.
Bye.